Pusher, you are moving with purpose. You are speaking with purpose. Pusher, we are healing out loud with you. Don't stop pushing forward. Don't stop sharing your truth. Continue to trust God and believe in His plans for you. Pusher, we are healing with you. We see you.
Hey, it is your girl Pusher. If you're not pushing forward, you're moving backwards. Say it out loud. Forward ever, backwards never. No, really say that thing out loud. Forward ever, backwards never. Yes. Here we are again on this good sunny Wednesday. And I just want to thank everybody who has tapped in, who has committed this hour to push forward with us. I see you as always. Good evening to you on this happy Wednesday. So consistent, so ready, and so on point, and continue to push me every time I see you in the chat. My heart just smiles because I know that as you watch, you are so proud of your niece, and so I just appreciate your attention. I appreciate your consistency, and I pray that everything thus far that has been shared has been a blessing to you. Thank you. I thank y'all for showing up and showing out. Please forgive me for missing last week, but duty calls. And I just thank God that I have the kind of village that would just step up and do their thing. So shout outs to Global Butterfly Effects, Mrs. Prince, Mrs. Kawana Prince, for stepping up and doing her thing. And she did. I watched the replay, and she did a great job. And so, if you know her, just send her a text and just encourage her and let her know how much we appreciate her for showing up. Yes. Do not forget to subscribe, like, and share. Remember, we do not gatekeep information. We here, and if it works for us, we believe that it will work for someone else. Yes, PUS'HER family, please feel free to participate, share, like, and comment on this episode tonight. We are in season 2, episode 14. Can you believe it? Season 2, episode 14. We are healing out loud. Can you believe that? Shout outs to Raven for keeping me on point, making sure that I was unmuted. Yes. I just love my community. So, I like to maximize every second of every minute in this hour. We started on time, so we're gonna end on time. Yes, I see you, High Def Tone. What you think about the intro? Your girl wrote a little something. I put it in the app, and they created a song for me. Let me know what you think about that. Your girl is being creative and doing some things, and I'm just so proud of myself. Like my Aunt Etta said, she is proud of me, and I appreciate that, and I am proud of me as well. I do not know what happened to Patricia, but we're gonna keep it going. And so what I am going to do is just before she introduces herself, I'm just going to talk a little bit about what the topic on tonight. And what I want you to know, that the topic is protect your peace. Let me say that again. Protect your peace. But the title on tonight is I am protecting my peace. So without further ado, because I can go to so many places with that topic, without further ado, I'm going to ask this young lady that is next to me to introduce herself. Introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. I'm Patricia.
Tell the people who are you and what are you bringing on to the Pusher community on this evening.
Well, I'm Patricia, and I guess this segment is about protecting your peace, and I'm big on protecting my peace. I have come to um, a realization that my peace is everything. A long time ago, I didn't care about peace. I didn't care about nothing until I got older and I started realizing that my peace was everything. So I'm here to protect my peace.
All right, so I just like to get into it. And so we're just going to have a conversation about protecting my peace because that is important. And so before we get into that, I want to, just for the sake, so that people can really know who you are, to me anyway. I don't keep no secrets. I do know this young lady personally. So I just want you to share a little bit of how you know me. You on mute.
Did it unmute?
Yes, you did.
Okay, I am Patricia. I met Carlita in prison. I was serving a 20-year sentence. Um, I wound up giving my time back, and I came home. It was a little rocky. It was
Wait a
a
minute.
little
Slow
rocky.
down. Slow down. Slow down.
Oh, sorry.
Slow down. You said you had 20 years and you gave your time back. Don't just ride past that like that's, oh yeah, I gave it back. No. You can't just go past that like that, baby girl. Tell us, what do you mean by you gave it back? Not everybody know prison language. Not everybody know what that means.
So, so when I got down to jail, I was the youngest thing in the prison, and they wanted to send me to Patuxent, and I didn't want to go to Patuxent. So, my judge told me that if I was to go down there, complete a couple of classes, if I'm not mistaken, and to receive my GED, that I could get back in front of her. I could come back in front of the judge. So it was hard for me in the beginning because one, I was the youngest thing down there. You know, people tried me. I tried people. Um, I wound up giving my life back to Christ, rededicating myself to our ministry that we had there, joined dance ministry, and started to go to school. So, and Carlita, I know they don't know. Carlita was my mentor, and she guided me along the way, um, pointed me in the right direction, introduced me to the people who I needed to know, not who I wanted to know, who I needed to know. Um, and it just went from there. Dance ministry, school, Bible study, just really trying to give God me again. And me really getting to know God again. Now I knew him, we all know him, but I'm talking about really know him and really surrender myself to him.
Wow. See why we couldn't just go past that? Look at, just by going back, slowing down and putting a pin in it. Look what all came out of that. And so it's important to I like the fact that you just gave God his props. I appreciate that, girl. You don't know what that did to my heart. Yes, give him his props. Give him what is due, recognizing that because you made a decision, and I'm not going to push you too much, not in as it relates to your experience. But I do want you to touch on being so young and having that. Hello, is you driving? So now they're gonna have to get to me that to talk to you on a regular because I don't understand what's happening. I
No,
really
I'm not. No, I'm not driving. I had to. As we spoke earlier, I was telling you that I was getting my niece ready for graduation tomorrow. I'm so proud of her for that. So I'm a proud aunt at this moment. So I got her hat made. So I was just giving her hat. But I am what you call the word, stand still as of right now. Yes.
Okay. Um,
Stationary. I'm stationary. Sorry.
okay. All right, that was a little sidebar. Sorry, we live, but it's I don't cut me off. Um, and she knows me very well. So it's important to me, which is why I want you to be attentive, because this is your process. This is a part of your process. What a lot of people don't know is who I talk to and who I work with and how I work with them, the relationships that I have. I don't expose them because it's not my place to. I don't reveal people's journeys because I'm not in a business to do that. But when an individual is ready, or when an individual feels in their heart that they are ready to do something afraid, then it's my responsibility, especially when they are coming to me, to push them in a direction that will help them become comfortable with being uncomfortable, especially when they have something to say. And I don't take that lightly. And the people that show up in this community don't take it lightly either, because everybody got something to give to each person that shows up every week. And it does my heart good, because it's not easy to take on a responsibility such as this, because not everybody it wants to be tapped into it. Not everybody believes the hype, the press around it. Those that you only invest in what you believe in. And I'm not in the business of convincing anyone. So this is an opportunity where you don't know who will be watching, who will be listening. And so it is very, very, very important that we don't take this opportunity lightly. And so I want you to talk a little bit about your growing up inside of the Maryland Correctional Institution for Women, because there is somebody that is going to watch this, that is watching this, that is going to hear you now or later, that is on their way where you were. And just by you sharing what's in your heart can motivate them to think different. That's a responsibility. And now, because you're sitting next to me, you have already told me you're willing to take on that responsibility. And I know you are, because I know your story. I know a little bit about your life. I might not know everything, but I know enough to know that you're ready. You don't tell me everything. I don't even want to know everything, but I know enough. I know enough to know that you are ready. So I need you to lock in, and I need you to really be focused, because the people that's showing up, they showing up with purpose. They showing up because they waiting to hear something. Somebody needs something from you that I can't give them. I'm aware of that. That's why you're here. God chose you. I didn't. He chose you because you're ready. And so, because we're talking about protecting our peace, this is me protecting my peace and protecting the peace of the people that show up, because I know the purpose and I know the commitment that everybody makes every week to push forward. I told you I'm cramping, I'm tired, I don't feel like it. But I can't operate in what I feel like, because somebody else's healing is dependent upon me showing up. So I want you to talk a little bit about being so young and being in an environment that really isn't conducive for a woman, a young woman. Talk a little bit about that.
So as I stated before, I was young. I want to say I was 16. One of the youngest things down there, like I said, and it was very difficult for me to adjust. You had so many different personalities, different people that didn't have no care, um, no type of gratitude, nothing. They didn't care about nothing. And some people was never coming home, so they really didn't have no care. So I fell victim to that. Being young, being a follower, wanting to be with, um, fit in with the cool kids and, do certain things that I shouldn't be doing, just a lot of different things. Um, it was hard. I was on lock for a year for fighting. And once I went on lock for the year for fighting, it was like I constantly kept going on lock. It was like a playground for me. Because like Carlita said, I wasn't ready for a change. I was connected to the wrong people. I was being a follower and not setting the example for the ones that was coming in that may have been around my age. It was just difficult. It was hard. It was hard. And I didn't have no family on the outside. So I felt like I didn't have anything to look forward to. Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I was throwing my life away, not knowing that it was a little angel on the sideline watching me the whole time. The whole time, just watching, watching, watching. And that little angel is Carlita, and she pulled me up and she told me she seen something in me that I didn't even know that I had. You know, yeah, I knew a lot of people down there. I was connected to a lot of different stuff, but like I said, it wasn't right. I'm sure you have told your story on your platform before. So Carlita was kind of tied in, with the right people to get me one in school. That was the main focus, to get an education. Being out here in this world now, you can't do nothing without an education. So I was able to get. It wasn't a high school. Well, I do say high school diploma on there. Don't
It
just
does.
say, but it was a difference in doing it there because they gave us graduations and stuff like that. But it wasn't the same as when you went to school and you walked across the stage and you had people cheering you on and really being there for you. I had none of that. I had to work for what was that, 98 cents a day, just to make sure I had soap and toothpaste to wash up with, because Lord knows that Lisa soap tear your pum pum. So, I had to work for it, but um, I did it. I did it. It took a while because, again, I wasn't ready initially. So it took a while, but I was able to do it. I joined dance ministry. Um, I gave all my praises to the Lord. I rededicated myself. And once I actually rededicated myself and surrendered myself to God, a lot of other doors started opening up for me. Doors that I never thought were open. I was so busy worrying about the family on the street and the people on the street instead of paying attention to what was right in front of me. They say blood, you don't have to be blood to be family. So I had my own little family. Carlita know that I had a mother, I had a father. I had my own little family and they were actually cheering me on. They wanted what was best for me. How can somebody in that situation, a situation more worse than mine, want what's best for me? And that's all I kept saying. For me? You want to see me? So I did that. I completed that. I still continued to do the youth choir. We came up with the youth choir. I started singing. We danced. We had this program called, oh my God, what was the program Betty Brown used to have?
Scream.
We had Scream where, we did different little activities. We did a bunch of different stuff, but it was all positive stuff.
Right.
Um, trying to help the next person, because it was once I got down there, a lot more younger folks started coming to jail.
Right. Um, so I'm going to transition, but I want to, you said, what was the pivotal moment where you felt like I don't want to do it my way no more? I need to do it a different way. What was that pivotal? Do you remember that pivotal moment? What was it?
So I was on lockup, and I don't want to say no names, but we had a warden, and he loved me dearly. He did his rounds one day, and I already had a year. I think it was like 180 days or something like that, and then I had got a year on lockup, and he came around and he did his rounds, and he said to me, "Are you ready?" And I didn't know what that meant. So I'm like, "Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready." I'm ready. He like, are you ready? So he did his rounds, and he came around with the chief. And I'm not gonna say their name either, but the chief fell in love with me. She told me what I needed to do, told me what she expected from me, and her and the warden came and sat in on. I think I did an appeal for my ticket to get my
Mhm.
time back, like how you do it when you go to jail to get my time back. And they actually sat in on my ticket process, and they took my time back, and I got off a lockup, and I felt so free. It was like I was free. I felt so free.
I guess so. Being on lockup, you better
I
feel
I was
free.
so free, and that's when the chief had told me to lock in with somebody, and this somebody was my angel that was watching me the whole time, and I didn't know. And that person was Carlita. And from there, it was up from there.
I never knew that.
Please.
No, no. I never knew the backstory. You never told me the backstory.
But you knew we both was tied in with that one person.
No, I do. I know that, but I didn't know the backstory
Yeah,
of how what prompted her to bring you to me.
yeah, that's
I never knew the backstory, and I guess it really isn't. The backstory really during that time really is important. You are who you are, and you gonna do what you do. But I'm like, oh wow, all that happened. I didn't know that, but wow, look at that. And some things I don't remember unless somebody tell me. But you never told me that the backstory to that. But yeah, that's crazy cool, girl. And now look at you now.
I,
Look at you now. So let's transition. So I that was important because it's important to me for people to give a little of their history, their personal history, especially how they met me. And I never know what people are going to say. And I definitely did not know that you were going to share that. I thought you was going to talk about all the foolishness.
no foolishness here. We pushing forward ever.
I know that's right. Y'all see how she using my words against me. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop mentoring her. Practice your right to remain silent.
You can't get a copyright.
She using my stuff against me, but it's like an AA meeting. It works only if you work it. And so I am just excited for you. So let's transition into the now. This is important because we're talking about protecting our peace and coming and giving the backstory of being in prison, in an adult prison at the age of 16, and going through all of that helps people understand the right now. Those that have ears to hear. Somebody reminded me of that earlier. It helps them. Michelle said, yes, forward ever, backwards never. Indeed.
You
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what's so since your release, you gave your time back, you home because you came home before me.
yep.
How has life been? Take us through a journey. How has your life been from getting released? And wait a minute, hold up. Shout out.
May I be transparent?
Yes, you can. But not as transparent as you are with me.
Okay.
Understand that we it's about healing, yes, and it's about sharing your truth. But keep in mind, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And we want to make sure the intent of our heart is in the right place. This is for you, nobody else. So keep that in mind, because I know how raw you can get, and I know how emotionally excited and charged up you can get. If I see you going, because I'm going to let you go. If I see you going a little bit too far, I know how to stop you, as I always do. So have at it. I definitely want you to speak your truth, but definitely speak it from a place of peace. As we talked about, speak from a place of you are in your healing journey. And so that's the space that you wanted to speak in. And only you can make that decision to do that. I'm just here to guide you, to kind of help you, to kind of push you. So we're actually, what is happening is she's actually going, this is the pusher pushing. And so you have the privilege to see what happens in real life and in our exchange. So that's all we doing. We having a regular talk like we always do. I'm just giving her, allowing her to share because she has decided to heal out loud. Speak your truth from the heart and thank you in advance for your vulnerability.
Thank you, Miss Michelle.
You already have the support, the people in the chat. Community, let's push and let's give, let's show up as we always do. And go in the chat and just affirm Patricia right now as she began to share her right now, the space that she is in right now. Hulon, we got Tennessee in the building. um we're here to listen. Thank you for your service. So, sir, I am so proud of you. I just wanted to get that out of there with your handsome self. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Conversations with Joy B. She says, I want to thank you both because you guys have charged the prison, changed the prison experience in a very positive way. Mrs. Kawana Princess praying right now. See, this is the kind of community you are in. This is what we do. And so I am going to get out of the way and I'm going to let you take us on a journey of you coming home, what has been going on in your life, and where are you now. We don't have a lot of time, so I want you to share what is most important in your heart.
Okay. So first, like I told you guys in the beginning, that um when I went to prison, I didn't have nothing. Like, I didn't have no family support. My mom had already died. Um Stepfather moved on. So when I came home to no one and nothing. And Carlita had lined me up with a couple churches, and I want to say it was the Marian House, but me personally, I didn't want to go to the Marian, even though I should have. I didn't want to go to the Marian House because I felt like I had already been in a situation where I was following rules. Now I got to follow rules again and all that. So I wound up dating this girl, no names, and I used her address as a home plan to come home. It was really, really rough, really rough. Um, I went backwards, started turned to the streets. Um, just not doing what I knew that I was supposed to do. So I moved back to Baltimore City. I wound up dating, getting my own place with the guy, and then I wound up moving out. Moved out, got my own place again, and started working. I got a job. Somebody finally gave me an opportunity to get a job because it was so hard with having a background for me at that time, fresh off the bricks, trying to get a job. So I got a job, was working for a while, and I met this guy who is now my ex-husband. And he is the reason why I am protecting my peace to this day. It was so horrible. He knew my story. He knew that I really didn't have no support. Well, he thought I didn't have no support, of course, but um, it just got rough. Rough. It was rough on both ends for me and him because it was a lot of things that I didn't know. It was a lot of things that I wasn't taught as a child. I didn't get a chance to, you know, learn certain things that, the things that your parents and your mom is supposed to teach you. I didn't get that opportunity. So I did a lot of things wrong and he did a lot of things wrong. So in the process of that, we got married, had a wonderful wedding, was together for maybe a month after we got married. And I filed for a divorce because it was traumatizing, very violent, um, a lot of mess, a lot of mess. So I got a divorce, and someone had called me and asked me how did I feel about taking on three children. They were being abused. Um, Mother didn't treat them right. And I'm like, me, me, you want me to take them? I didn't even think that I could get them. So I am now a certified foster mother, and I have two beautiful children. It was three at first, but one went elsewhere. But I have two beautiful children, 12 and 11 years old, and I'm actually married again, happily married this time, very peaceful, no drama. Um, of course, we go through minor things, but it's nothing big. I'm staying out the way. Um, I'm big on my peace now because dealing with my first husband, it was so traumatizing, and there was always something going on where I was already always in an uproar and just always something. So now, like I said, he has taught me how to protect my peace. My peace is everything.
Okay, slow down. I want to. So this part is about where I'm getting ready to take you is accountability. So you use the word traumatized 3 times, right? So tell us, share with us what that look like for you. What was traumatizing?
Being
Or
abused mentally, physically, and emotionally. Um, the police being called on me. Um, I had Section 8, my door being kicked in, of me losing my Section 8 voucher, losing my grandmother, the disrespect to my grandmother that was given. It was a lot that I never thought that, not saying that I couldn't go through it, because I always ask God, why me? But then I turn around and say, why not me? So um, it's a lot. But like I said, I played a part in it too.
that's where I want you to go. What's the part that you played?
Being childish on some tick for tack type stuff. If he would do something to me, I'll turn around and try to do something to him. Um, Not calling no police though, but just a bunch of, it was just a lot of tick for tack. And as Carlita said, my mouth is a missile. It'll cut you. It'll cut you. That power of the tongue, it talks about in the book of James, the tongue is powerful. And I could say a lot of harshful things, and I could do a lot of things, and I did because I was hurt. And I also didn't get a chance to grieve the way that I was supposed to grieve with losing my grandmother and losing my mother. When I lost my mom, I went straight to prison. I did some dumb stuff that led me to being charged as an adult. And I never got time to grieve. And then years later, I lost my grandmother, and I was just hurt, acting out of hurt, and I thought that he loved me. So I don't know. That's what I mean when I say traumatizing. It was very traumatizing.
No, I appreciate that, and I want to thank you for being honest. And it is definitely important that we make sure that in all things that we take a level of accountability. But something that I heard you say was, it was not your words, my words, just what I heard, that it was toxic. Although it was toxic, you still made a decision to get married.
Yes, I did. Because I loved me. And I honestly thought that I loved him. No, I'm not even going to say I thought. I knew that I loved him. Right. And I thought that the way how we did certain things, that's what love was. But it wasn't. He wasn't patient. He wasn't kind. I wasn't patient. Sometimes I wasn't kind. So it was a lot of different aspects of that. We, no matter what we did to each other, we always found our way back together. And that's why I married him, because I'm thinking, well, in spite of all of this that I've been through, in spite of all that I've done, all that he done, we always found our way back together. So that's why I thought that he was the one for me. But like you said, toxic. I was toxic. He was toxic. But I was broken. and he was broken, and two broken people couldn't fix it, so there was no balance.
Come
No.
on, girl. All right, I'm sorry. I just get so excited. You don't understand. I'm so proud of you. I am so you don't understand your level of maturity. I always tell you this every time that I talk to you. It has become so much more easier because you're growing and you're learning and you have become coachable and you made the decision. Nobody for no one thing's for sure, two things for certain. Nobody can force you to do nothing that
Hello.
you don't want to do. Not even me. Not even me. It takes a minute to break you, but over the years it has become easier and easier and easier. And I trust your growth, and I trust your healing process. I trust your independence so much so I don't stand over top of you. I know if you need me, you're gonna call me. I know when you miss me, you are gonna call me. I know that you are somebody that is consistent. I don't talk to you every day, don't see you every day, but I know that you love me and I know that you respect me. But more importantly, I know that you have learned to love and respect yourself to the point where you want to do something different. And because you have chosen to do something different, now look at you. And although I don't want to really go into detail about it, but I'm going to ask you this because it's about protecting your peace, and we got to be a little bit honest in it because life ain't perfect right now. There's still some tears being shed. There's still some questions to God of why me every now and then. We have been or we are right now in that breaking point of God, you even going to do something or I am. Keep in mind, we're talking about protecting our peace. I want you to talk a little bit about that without going into depth.
So I have moved on. I have moved out of the city of Baltimore, not just for him, but for my peace and for the sake of my children, schooling wise. Baltimore City got this no child left behind law, and some children don't need to be left behind, but they also need an education. So I moved out of Baltimore City and away from the drama. Me and my ex-husband, we had a car tied in together. And once I filed my divorce, because we didn't have no kids together, the kids that I received, he didn't have anything to do with it. That was the only thing that was keeping us tied in, was the vehicle. So I wound up parking the car, tags bad on the car, and I wound up buying a new car. He got jealous. He got mad about that. He envied that. He envied my relationship. He envied the peace, the glow that I had on me. Because if you know that you can see it. Um, and he went and pressed charges on me May the 10th. I'm fighting the charge of grand theft auto theft. I did not steal a car. I am not trying to go back to jail. Okay, I'm a three-time loser. I'm not with it. I am on probation for an incident that happened around the time when I first came home that I had no idea about, but I dealt with it. I accepted my consequences, and I'll be off of probation the beginning of the year. But he knows this, so he knows that I don't want to go back to jail. So the way how he gets me is to go press charges on me. Now y'all know the judicial system allows anybody to file charges. And when I asked about it, she said that she rather people to file charges than and they go through with it than them to shut it off and it be something really happening to somebody. So I could understand that. So um it's nothing that I can do right now other than wait. It's a waiting process. I know that I'm gonna beat the charge because I owned the car. He was the co-owner. No, he was the owner and I was the co-owner of the car. So I know I'm gonna beat the charge, but it's just an inconvenience of him trying to disturb my peace. My husband's birthday was May the 17th, and I gave him a party, and we follow a lot of the same people. And somebody had posted me and my husband, and he seen it. and that just sent red flags off to him, sent him overboard. Um, he's I I don't want to say he's miserable, but the stuff that he's doing is miserable. He's still hurt.
So let me ask you something. How do you feel? How does it make you feel?
I'm upset. I'm sad. I'm hurting. I'm angry. I'm devastated that I gotta constantly keep going through this because I'm really tired of going through. I could say if I was bothering him or, making myself accessible to him, but I moved away. I blocked all my social media pages from him so that he can't see, because I know that I did hurt him the way that I left the situation, right? But I had to go the way that I had to go because that was the only way. If I would have waited any longer, God knows what would have happened or what he would have did to me out of anger, and he probably wouldn't have meant it after a while, but I wasn't trying to stay around for him to figure it out. So when I left the situation um, without an explanation. I left the situation without nothing, like nothing. And I hurt him. I filed a divorce. He didn't like it. I don't know, Carlita. I don't know, but I'm really hurt and I'm sad because I shouldn't have to keep going through this. I'm raising a little boy and a little girl, and my daughter watches my every move. Even though she's not my biological daughter, she's my daughter, and she watches me. She looks up to me. So everything that I do, I have to move with care when it comes to her because I know that she's watching. Even my son, he watches. So I don't want it to be a situation where I retaliate and they think that that's okay, or they see this man treating their mother a certain type of way and they think that that's how somebody's supposed to treat them. So I'm trying to do it the right way, but the law, man, the law the law is already hard for us because we're black women and we're ex-offenders, so they make it already hard for us. It's really hard, and it hurts so bad because I don't bother him. I don't i don't i block him from everything, Carlita. Everything, so that he can't see me living in my peace, because when you have peace, people don't like that. They hate to see that you have peace and that you happy. Hate it. So I blocked him so he can't see, but some way, somehow, he wind up seeing, and it wind up being what it is, and now I'm left with a new charge that I have to deal with. And I'm gonna deal with it, and I'm gonna deal with it the right way. It's just the inconvenience of it.
So, yes, and again, I know it's nothing that no one can say or do to undo or fix. But you are the only one that has full control over you and how you come out of this. And I'm speaking internal, because external, we already know what's going to happen. But I want to talk, because we're talking about protecting our peace, and I don't want it to get mistaken, because we have a responsibility to protect our peace. And we don't protect our peace just by saying, I'm protecting my peace. Oh, leave me alone or get away from me. It's some internal things that we have to adjust in order to experience that peace when all hell breaks out. And what I recognize and how you help me, even while you're going through, is the fact that you are going through. I can't see you.
I turned the camera off for a second.
No. Turn that camera back on. We don't run. Not your big bad tail. We don't run. We don't run. Because guess what? If you didn't feel a way, if the tears wouldn't come, I would question your heart. You have been through so much since a little girl. You owe it to yourself to allow your tears to come. That's peace. When you can let them tears flow, no matter who's watching, no matter who's around, no matter who's listening. When you can speak your truth and allow your tears to fall without fighting. That's strength. Why? Because it takes courage to talk about it out loud. It takes courage to share it out loud. Not just, we ain't talking about to one person, because you talk to me all day long. But when you open yourself to expose yourself, that takes courage. And I don't want you to rob yourself of this moment. You spoke a lot about God. Let him do what he do in this moment for you. Because you're not doing this just to be doing it. This is a part of your process. Your healing is dependent upon it. We don't come up here and do this just for play. We got real lives with real struggles. And we are seeking and searching for a way to still be whole, stable, and solid while we're going through. And you are a representation of that. And how young are you?
I'm 33.
33. With all of that attached to you, you owe it to yourself. You give me a reason to continue to push. Because it's young women like you that people attend to write off. It's young women like you that people just go off in a corner and talk about, oh, she ain't about nothing. She ain't gonna do this. She ain't ready yet. She play too much. She doing this and she doing that. But look at you now. But God. He blessed you with 3 children that was in need while you were in need. Do you understand the blessing that God placed in your life to help you see your full potential? You don't have them kids just to love them. You have them kids so that they can love on you, so that they can help teach you how to live with purpose, to teach you how to live with integrity, to teach you how to undo some of that learned behavior so that you are able to give maybe not what your birth parents gave you, but what your spiritual parents gave you over the years, whether you were in prison or out of prison. And I'm telling you, you had the best prison parents one can ask for. Because they took care of you, wrong, right, or indifferent. That is my child. Whether she wrong, you better not say nothing to her. You are blessed beyond measure. Walk in that. God prepared you for this. We will not retreat. We will not go back. We're going to stand flat-footed in this. Why? Because we know the end. Yes, it's an inconvenience. Yes, it hurts. No, we don't want to go through it. But tag you with, what you going to do with it? What you going to demonstrate for them kids? How you going to show them when life start happening for them? What is the example you want them to have? What is the standard? Because now that you're loving on you in a healthy way, now that you are owning who you are and you're walking in your self-worth, you're walking in your integrity, you don't got a point to prove. All you got to do is just keep living and making the choices that is conducive for you and your tribe. And you doing that. But what we can't do is suffer in silence. And what we can't do is continue to operate in anger. We gotta get past it. Yeah, we angry. Yeah. But what else are we? We hurt. We tired. Why me? The odds is already set. You said it all. But so what? God equipped you for this. The odds can only be stacked up against you based on your perspective. You are a walking, talking, moving miracle.
That I
You
know.
are you are like the prodigal son. You are the one that people tend to write off, but yet you continue to push. Where does that come from? You've always been that way. Brave, courageous, mouthy. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. But where does that strength come from? Where does that tenacious spirit come from? You had it from the very first day that I met you.
I couldn't answer that. That's just the way God made me. He made me different. He took his time with me.
Come
I
on.
believe that. Like I have a unique birthday. My birthday is February 29th. You don't meet too many people birthday on a leap year. So I believe that I know they call me special, not special ed though, but special. I believe that I'm really special. Like God, I honestly think that God really took his time when he created me. I believe that.
I believe it too. With my whole heart, girl. Come on, you is talking good, girl. Yes, you are. I believe that. God created you in his likeness and in his image, girl. Come on, wear that thing with a crown. Special, not special ed, though.
Miss Michelle crazy. Yeah. I'm a little bit of special ed too, Miss Michelle. They brings it out me, sugar. But definitely
Baby,
special. Definitely special. I have learned that God give his hardest task to his strongest soldiers.
come on
So
now.
I believe that. I don't think that nothing that I have dealt with or nothing that I am dealing with because we still going through real life stuff that I it's not that I can't handle it. I will handle it and I will get through. That's what's gonna be my testimony. Me getting through. You know, it might take a little longer than usual, but I'm going to get through it.
Right,
That
right,
I know.
right. Um, Mrs. Prince said, I believe it too. High Def Tone said, LOL, don't claim that, sis. No special ed.
You
Shell
know, I was in a little DC.
baby. Yeah, Shell said tenacity, baby. That's what we
Okay.
do. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Girl, this is girl, you got me over here sweating, and I don't never sweat. Girl, and I ain't sweating because I'm on pins and needles because you know you got mouth on you. No, but I trusted. I trusted the process. I trusted you. And but you got me over here sweating because I'm so excited for you. And I know we laughing. The good thing is we can laugh
That
even in
part.
while we're hurting.
That
And
part.
so I want you to know that I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you trusting me for so many years with your heart. I do not take that lightly. How that tone said, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. I want you to tell yourself that every night. She spoke from the heart tonight. Yes, she did. And I am so proud of you. And I know that you are going to continue to make the right decisions for yourself. And I know that one of the things I know about you is that you're not prideful. You do not have an ego problem. Your ego, you dominate over your ego. I do know that about you. So if you need assistance, I know you're going to reach out. If you need just to scream, to talk, to yell, to cuss, I know that you are going to reach out. So I do not have no reservations about moving forward. I believe that this was important because healing is in our voice. And we oftentimes keep talking to the same people about the same thing, and we stay feeling the same way
Hmm.
because we talk too much and we don't put it where it belongs. But I want you to know that I'm for sure and for certain that you have helped someone on this evening. I'm foolish enough to believe that someone is challenged to examine themselves in their relationship. I'm sure I'm foolish enough to believe that someone is challenged to either, whether it's a friendship, it doesn't matter, family member, it doesn't matter, to really step back and evaluate the part that they play in the situation, because it can't be just one sided. And so I appreciate for you telling your truth, and being truthful and being honest. I appreciate that. Um,
Yeah.
Miss Cynthia Brown, whom is my mother, says, Patricia, God got you. I know that's right. Michelle says, Patricia Ann, you are to Carlita what Carlita is to me. Love you, sis. And
I
that's
love
so
you too,
special
Miss
to
Michelle.
me. You are special. Yes, she is, believe it or not. This girl don't care what time it is, don't care what I got going on. I could be in the bed. She will FaceTime me. Honey, Mrs. Kawana Princess, when I see Patricia on the street in the chat, I'ma call her special. That shit. They play too much. They play too much, but she probably will do it.
You said Miss Cynthia is your mom. I need to meet her.
You are ready to meet those that I am me all day long, and you will meet that you are meeting the people the way that you're meeting the people, because that's how you're supposed to meet them, not per your request.
I
Mrs.
need
Rivers
to
says,
meet Miss Cynthia and Carl.
Mrs. Rivers says, I am one of them. She helped tonight just listening. Yes, thank you for sharing that. See, I ain't
Yeah,
lying.
thank you. She ain't let me tell all the business though, y'all.
No,
But
I
I
did
mean,
not, because she probably want to talk about me. Mrs. Prince said, and she will. Michelle said, y'all want Miss Special from now on.
Miss Michelle.
No, 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 really. I so appreciate you on tonight. You have been a blessing to me and to so many other people who have been listening, those that will be watching in the future. I want to encourage you to tap in, watch, previous episodes, watch because this is going to be a part of your journey, your healing journey. So I want you to begin to tap in consistently as much as you can, so that you can get the information in a way in which that you never have received it, especially from this particular community. It ain't for everybody, but this is definitely for you. You have proven that on tonight, and so whoever you in the call with, tell them I said thank you for their patience. I know you in there with somebody. Tell them I said from my heart, thank you for the patience to pull over, because it was important for me and you to be focused, to be locked in. And plus, she know I mean what I say, and I mean what I say. I'm still gonna fuss at her because she didn't do what I told her to do. But nonetheless,
I thought I
um,
did good.
no, you did, you
But I
pulled
know.
through.
I
Yeah,
know.
I know you know. But yes, and seeing her now, I know people probably is like, oh yeah, she didn't grew up a little bit from seeing you a couple times on some things that I have done. But yes, I love you so much. You
I
in the
love you.
chat, I appreciate y'all for always showing up. Mrs. Prince, again, we give you your flowers for showing up last week and doing your thing. You did that. As nervous as you was, you did that. And I thank you for giving me my props and understanding what it is that I do behind the scenes, which is why I reached out for assistance. And I have my good sister friend, Michelle, who is behind the scenes
Yeah.
making it do
I
what it
love
do
her.
in the chat. I definitely appreciate it. And to my village, pivot, just let me put this little commercial disclaimer out there. And Patricia had the opportunity, but we're going to talk about the next time when we bring her back. But for those of you who know a woman that has been impacted by the criminal justice system, real talk, real serious, I just need your ear for a minute. If you know a woman that has been impacted by the criminal justice system and they are at a place where they are coachable, where they are at a place where they are ready to do something different, that they're not still in that mindset where they want to manipulate the system, because we are not the system. I want to encourage you to contact me so that we can get those women the assistance that they need. We do not just help professionally. At Pivot Workforce Development, we help professionally and personally. We want to help the whole person, not just part of the person. Getting you a job is one thing, but who show up is another thing. And so if you know someone who can benefit from this pivot experience, they will have a life coach, a personal success coach, and a career coach. How dope is that? And they're not just any coaches. They are people who care. They are people who are personable, who are relational, and who will hold your hand and walk you through the process. So if you know anybody, holler at me so that we can get them into our next cohort that is coming up in July. You definitely don't want to gatekeep that information. If you know a woman who is at a place that they are tired of being the superwoman, they want to take that cape off, give it away. They tired of showing up for everybody. They tired of running everybody business and doing all of that. We have a place for that woman too. But you have to be willing to give of you have to be willing to allow people to love on you as you love on them. And that is what this journey is about. My life is just about healing. I go where the healing at, baby. And if it works for me, I know it will work for somebody else. I want you to holler at me and I will connect you to the Ladies League of Baltimore, who will soon have an open house, and all is invited. But it is a process for Pivot Workforce Development in the Ladies League of Baltimore. And if you are looking for a liturgical dancer, if you haven't gotten your copy of It Takes One to Know One, if you are looking for someone to do a workshop, if you're looking for a coach, holler at your girl. Go to pusherlife.org and holler at your girl. That's how we doing it. And so without further ado, we started on time. I like to end on time. I love you. And there's nothing that you could do about it. Yes, ma'am.
I want to say thank you for having me on your show. I will be in Pivot in July. I will be ready to start Pivot in July. I also want to tell you, Carlita, that I am proud of you.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you.
Um, you have come a long way, even though you ain't really had nothing really on. But I am extremely proud of how far that you have come. A lot of people have written us off, and you show up. You always show up.
I
So
appreciate that.
I want you to know that I'm proud of you, and I'm proud to even still have you in my life. Like, I ain't fucked that up. Excuse my French, but I ain't messed that up. I still have you. Like you said, I call day, night, morning, around the
Around the corner. Now she moving
very
and
proud of that.
shucking and jiving. But we got you. We got you. We hear you, and I appreciate your words. Somebody wants you to come back. If you want to see Patricia again, and she's funny too. On the low, she thinks she's a comedian.
I'll
Um,
be back if I go to court. So let me tell y'all how that go. How about that?
she said she'd be back when she come to court. Okay, I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. We will have Patricia back on the show.
Okay, y'all. Thank you.
It is your girl Pusher. If you're not pushing forward, you're moving backwards. Say it out loud. Forward ever, backwards never. No, really say that thing out loud. Forward ever, backwards never. Have you gotten your copy of It Takes One to Know One workbook and journal and people pusher? No, then travel over to pusherlife.org, go to the author's page, and you will find It Takes One to Know One and People Pusher. Come tap in.